All right, Dawood, brothers and sisters, we're gonna read statutes 5 through 9 of the UNM Constitution. Um, peace to Dr. York, our founding father, United Nawabi Nation of Moors. We see that the devil's working hard to try to destroy what he built, but we gonna keep marching on, man. We gonna keep marching on, and because that's what the master teacher would want us to do. So we wouldn't want to abandon him spiritually um, in our quest to revive our people, to wake up the Negro, wake him up. He been in the dirt, sleeping. While everybody else in the world, all the other nationalities, and trampled all over him. Even Nigerians, Liberians, and they don't even respect the American Negro. Not much to respect there, to tell you the truth. So anyway, let's read Statute 5 through 9. Statute 5, love. We the people must relearn to love ourselves. We must care. We must love our images, our culture, our past contributions to the world improvement and accomplishments. This will breed the love of others as we learn to love our Nuwabian Moorish selves. That is both our appearance as well as our intelligence. We must relearn to accept all Nuwabian Moors as family and tribes and nations. We are the one community or people with the same origin. We must reject all foreign given titles that we do not choose to be called or identified by. I'm going to stop right there. That's huge. He said we must reject all foreign given titles like nigga, nigger. And nigga is not a term of endearment. Better look it up in the dictionary, man. Don't call me that. I'll feel offended. Yeah, I would feel offended. Jigaboo, spook, porch monkey, black tar baby, all that stuff. You got to learn to reject that. You know it's not you. That's not you. That's just the enemy trying to break you down psychologically by calling you names like a little kid. You got to get past that, all right? So I'm going to continue. We must reject all religions and cultures that do not highlight our presence and cultures. We must respect each and every foreign religion, culture, people, and their customs in the environments in which they belong. The freedoms of choice and self-determination in the environments in which they belong. We must become more concerned with the health, welfare, environment, economic, mental, and physical stability of each other. We must do all in our power to prevent our people from mental depression and physical degradation, self destruction by the use of any and all substances of abuse. For we practice by nature healthy living before we came in contact with those who wished us physical and mental harm. We are indeed our brother's keepers. Statute 6, joy. We the people must create our own happiness, recreation, entertainment, and enjoyment by utilizing our cultural backgrounds, customs, tradition, dances, musical instruments. We must take the responsibility for our own happiness, both spiritually and physically, for we are unlike those around us and amongst whom we presently live. We are subject to their subliminal as well as their outright seduction through their ideas of entertainment, which is predominantly sex, violence, murder, greed, destruction of property and vehicles, portrayal of supernatural, unrealistic environments, places, and people, a conscious attempt through European and Euro-American supremacy to undermine all other races of people by control of the media via cinema, television, radio, records, CDs, tapes, dates, entertainment forums, plays, books, magazines, periodicals, billboards, pop posters, leaflets, comic books, and all other vicious attempts to create in the minds of all other races other than European or Euro Americans an inferiority complex. According to the draft Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, 1994, page 1, and Article 12 states, Article 12. Indigenous peoples have the right to practice and revitalize their culture, traditions, and customs. This includes the right to maintain, protect, and develop the past, present, and future manifestations of their cultures, such as archaeological and historical sites. artifacts, designs, ceremonies, technologies, and visual and performing arts and literature, as well as the right to the restitution of cultural, intellectual, religious, and spiritual property taken without their free and informed consent or in violation of their laws, traditions, and customs. So a lot of that stuff that Britain and France got that came from Nubia, which the Negro calls Africa, and stuff from over here, from our different tribes over here, they're holding it illegally according to international law. Just want to throw that in there. Any attempt on the part of any other culture or race to portray themselves in a manner in which to induce self-respect and dignity in their youth is met with rejection, objection, and the declaration of the terms such as occult, militant, subversive, anti-government, or racism. We must ignore these insecurities and positively control the course, the minds, and the souls of our people's future. Now, I definitely want to touch upon what our founding father said there. Uh, they're trying to call us names. Even, I guess, some Negroes or Sabians are under the belief that we're terrorists, that we're on some terrorist list. They have yet to produce this list in the public because I've asked them, where is it at? So Amun Numa, yeah, I'm gonna put your name out there. Amun Numa is doing that and spreading lies. I ain't gonna call him a black devil, but he is spreading lies like a devil would. So I guess if it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck. But I'm not calling him a black devil. So we have, like the master teacher said, we must ignore these insecurities. So Amun Numa, I understand your insecurities, man. I understand, man. We get it. The ignorant always yell the loudest sometimes. We must encourage joy and happiness with all and everyone, regardless of race, creed, or color, in a respectful manner at all times. We must share, never impose our beliefs, customs, and tradition on those not willing to accept or participate. This practice is a universal law for all races, culture, and religious dogmas. According to the Draft Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, 1994, Article 2 states, indigenous individuals and peoples are free and equal to all other individuals and people in dignity and rights, and have the right to be free from any kind of adverse discrimination, in particular that based on their indigenous origin or identity. Statute 7. Unity. We the people must become one in mind, body, soul, wants, pursuits, and learn to live together as a family, meaning we have to drop our personal worldly pursuits and learn to live for, of, and by each other for our future assurance. We must work together, cooperate, and facilitate the assets, qualifications, skills, and artistic abilities of those in our nation to create stable, sound, productive, and progressive communities of unity. Statute 8. Success. We the people must reinstall in our people the realities that success and succession comes from cooperation and participation. We must work together to accomplish goals that will result in our success as a people. We must support each other in all manners of life. We must learn to depend on trust, respect, and assist one another in order to succeed in any and all of our undertakings. We must utilize our highest potential. We must learn to proceed through blocks, over hurdles, and through trenches that are set up to hinder our progress, growth, and success by those who fear our ability of self-rule, government, determination, and productivity as a people. The disagreeable beings, be they force or human, spend much time trying to deceive us into thinking less of ourselves and our kind. We must set vivid, not vague goals for ourselves as a sovereign nation and put full effort in making the best of our time and substance, skills, talents, and education in order to be a successful nation. All right, Statute 9. Law. We the people must not make or accept any laws that do not pertain to us as a people by nature. We are not to respect laws made, forced, or enforced upon us by those who do not have our best interests, health, welfare, or wealth in mind. We are to avoid religious restrictions and laws that have not that have not to date been proven beyond any doubt that have been inscribed by any or some supernatural being for us to help us. We are not to obey any laws made by or between any people while we were in captivity or being held against our will. Laws made for the settler and his own people, not us Native American Moors or those of us who are of African origin and other people of color. Well, I disagree. I don't think we're people of color. I think we're human beings. Because you're gonna look up color in the Black Law's dictionary. Color means something that's not real. So basically saying other people of some people who are not real. So that may need to be modified by the council. I have to take that to them. We are not to create laws for others that do not apply to our nature or safety and well-being. We are to respect the laws of others that pertain to them, not to the point of abiding by them, but simply out of due respect and the principle of law and enforcement. We are to enforce our laws amongst our sovereign nation members. You heard that? We are to enforce our laws amongst our sovereign nation members, which means you have to know this book, right? And the Family Guide. According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, adopted by the UN General Assembly, Resolution 21 Alpha of 10 December 1948 states, whereas it is essential, if man is not to be compelled to have recourse as a last resort to rebellion against tyranny and oppression, that human rights should be protected by the rule of law. We are to make laws that are acceptable, agreeable, and comprehensible to all of the indigenous people of our nation. So, those Nubians, most of them aren't even in the nation. It says we are to make laws, meaning in the future. We are to make law, right, that pertain to natural law to the best of our abilities. Those who are well versed in the Wabu, right? They are to make law, right? You know, our master teacher is not here anymore he's a lawmaker. Our master teacher is a lawmaker. Our founding father, Amanubidarakta, he is a lawmaker. So, but he says we are to make laws. So those in the United Nawabi Nation of Moors government and the citizens are to make law, right? So we are to make laws that are acceptable, agreeable, and comprehensible to all indigenous people of our nation. Not just blindly follow the master teacher like he's Jesus. I've ran into a lot of they fell under the spell of Malachi, and Dr. York didn't even try to do it. You put yourself under that. But that goes images and worshiping worshiping that's not good for your health. That goes back to ancient Egypt, right? Because the Egyptian high priests, some of them were artists and would draw, and then people would start worshiping the drawing. It's like, no, the drawing is symbolic of something. You're not supposed to bow to the drawing. You're supposed to worship or give praise to what it means, right? So I've ran into a lot of older Nubians that to me didn't learn nothing. Followed the master teacher for 20 some years and just didn't learn how to lead themselves or even lead their own congregation or crew or group. You know, they didn't even learn how to do that. So really a shame, really a waste. Not from the master teacher, because he reached the people he's supposed to reach, but for these individuals who wasted their life, many are called, few were chosen. All right. We are not to impose curfews or put restrictions on individuals from self-determination and pursuits that are in violation of others' privacy or safety. We are to live by the laws agreed upon in the Constitution of the United Nawabian Nation of Moors. All legislative powers mentioned in these 9 statutes shown above of our Constitution, inscribed and given, shall be vested in the United Nawabian Nation of Moors, indigenous people of the world. The position of Maku, or Supreme Grand Master, is eternal. The Maku will choose his successor before moving on to a higher life. Now that is very important, right? I heard a story where the master teacher did choose someone, his son, but then devils on the land killed his son. I don't know how true that is, but I heard the master teacher pretty mad. Of course, he would be mad about it. Someone murdered his son. So I heard Uma York say that on that the clown more. Oh yeah, Taharka Bay, the clown, the entertainer. Yeah. He be doing some good research though, but he's a clown. He's a clown. He's cool though. He's a funny guy. Funny guy. This successor will be the preference of the people, working of, for, and by the people. He or she will be the bloodline of the family, tribe, clan of the United Nawabi Nation of Moors only. All right. Well, there's multiple clans within the nation, and actually, Maku, this word Maku, actually needs to be modified to Afar, the Afarut, or Afaret, depending if it's male or female. So, but that's something I can't just do on my own, right? That's something that'll be discussed. If the Maku has an untimely departure to a higher life, the Sacred Council of the 9 to 13 clan members appointed by the Maku President Aferti will make the decision as to who the next successor will be. See, that was never set up and not known to the public. These 9 to 13 clan mothers. So, and everybody pretty much just abandoned the nation, and then y'all let Asaru just walk in and say, "Hey, I'm the president," because there's too many. Actually, there's too many Indians and not enough chiefs, right? So somebody should have came to the master teacher and said, "Hey, man, we don't have who's the next one in line." You know what I'm saying? I would have selected Howard Hotep. Me, myself, or Amin Hotep, is it? Am I saying that right? The brothers, the two brothers in the triad. That would have been my selection, but I wasn't there back then. I didn't even know the nation existed back then. So that was in like the early 2000s. So, and I wouldn't been ready to join the nation back then. I was young, dumb, and full of you know what. So, okay, who the next successor will be? This office shall be filled by the person or peoples duly elected by the citizens of the United Nawabi Nation of Moors to ensure fair decisions and judgments and petitions and enactments. A board must be elected to legislate. You hear that? A board must be elected to legislate requests on the part of the above mentioned people. So we are supposed to have a legislature, right? I don't think y'all be reading this document. Now, as the Afarut, I have to read this document. That's why I'm putting it out to the public. For those who are interested, you have to read this document, man. You have to see what the master teacher and others put together for us to fulfill. Not this, who's getting money from books and all this other crap that people are focusing on, mainly Nawabians and Sabians, all this other stuff that you're focusing on, and you haven't even focused on your duty and your mandate. Everybody wants to read spiritual books and stuff like that, but you're broke and you can't do nothing for nobody else. You haven't built nothing. I'm talking about physically build something. So mentally you have to build something before you could physically build something. So you ain't even building up here. And I don't care who you're mad at, who you got an attitude with, all this Sabian stuff. I'm not into all that stuff, man. I'm just into building. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Nawabian. I'm not a Sabian. I'm into building. I'm not into retarded rhetoric or trying to sound deep, but you got nothing going for the people, right? I'm not into it. Miss me with that. Okay. Open elections are to occur for officers of the newly formed government every 9 years. That's our number. That's our sacred number, right? And may be reelected provided that of the new officials, they are qualified by credentials, actions, practice, character, and health, both physical and mental, to occupy the seats of this newly formed government. Any officer can and will be removed by the people for incompetency, indecency, like David, right? Like King David, he went butt naked running down the street. Read it in the Book of Christians and the Holy Tablets. Dishonesty, biases, instability of health, both physical or mental, right? And Nawabian Moore, brothers and sisters, we're gonna leave it right there. And of course, there's a lot more to the Constitution that needs to be mentioned here. So we're gonna have daily readings on this until we finish it. If you like the videos, please share, comment, like, subscribe. This helps our channel, help us get the word out. I know I'm inconsistent with the videos, but I'm working on it. You see, I'm working on it, the audio, and doing everything that we can to get this back out, since now we have the time, opportunity, and and so this is the United Nawabi Nationwide Constitution, Preamble, Declaration of Independence. You should take this seriously. You should take this very seriously. I know I do. But for those, stuck in the book and can't get out the book. Now the books are wonderful. I got a HTM books, Ansar Law books, Nubian Islamic Hebrew books. We're studying Arabic right now, so if you're interested, I can send you the Google class invite. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So if you're interested in this, that's cool. If you want to play a part, if you're just a program slave of the master teacher, we can't use you. Don't even contact me. Do not contact the nation, because we're gonna find out who you are. Because those people usually bring negative attitudes, because they never learned to form an attitude of a child of the Elohim. They just wanted to follow Dr. York. Dr. York was like their entertainer. Well, we didn't take it as entertainment. The master teacher is an incarnated being. Is a Munu Buntal, and the Nuwabic is a Munu Buntal. Actually, Munu Bunatal. And that just means an incarnated being of the cosmos. But, that's the current state of the Nawabic language. So, anyway, I'm out. Wadu. Everybody have a beautiful day. Thank you.